Hi everyone, it's Eileen from Know There's a Crafty Idea, and I'm here with another video, and I'm just doing some odd crafting. I had an absolute bunch of envelopes, so I've prepared some. I mean, this is only half of what I've got. So I've prepared some, and I started doing some little window pockets. And I just thought I'd put the camera on and have a little craft along with me. I haven't done any tags for them yet, although these are quite big ones. They're going to end up having a proper journaling card in there. But I have done one hinged one, which will be a tip-in one. Is it a tip? Yeah, tip-in, I think. And then with the bottoms off them, because these were quite big, I've made these nice little tucks, so they'll just go flat to the page, and then you'll have a nice tuck, like a corner tuck. So I haven't decorated them yet. I just thought, you know, turn the camera on. I haven't seen you for ages. Let's sit and do some crafting together. So I've just got tons, tons and tons. So let's grab a couple out. Let's see what we've got. I've cut them to all different shapes and sizes because I wanted to have a good variety, and I haven't decided if I'm going to have tip-ins or not. And I've got me blue A4, which I've just folded over, and that's going to represent the side of a general size for a journal, so I don't make them too big or too small. But obviously I'm making lots of different size journals, so you know, there could be different sizes, you know, I'm just making things. So I pulled out a big bunch of scraps because I've got tons of these little bits of scraps, and I thought this is the perfect way to use up little bits because there's not huge amounts of room around your windows. So we'll start with this one. It's a nice big one, and I always cut mine on 3 sides so that I can open them up completely. It's not so much of a bother with these ones because these ones are you know, the brown paper. You could just leave it if you wanted to, or you could do some stenciling, but I'm just going to cover it anyway. I like the idea of just covering it, and just a piece of paper will do. In fact, that's almost a perfect size. I'm going to just use that. Let's get some glue on. I'm just going to move a few bits and pieces about. Got my glue book well out the way. Right, okay, let's get some glue on. So I hope everybody's okay, and you know, I've missed you all, and yeah, I hope you're all having a nice summer. We're having some gorgeous weather at the minute. I mean, stunning. It's just absolutely lovely, and I'm really enjoying it. You know, you've got to just enjoy these things while you've got them, because it won't be too long and the weather will be shifting again. So yeah, I've been doing a bit of work on the garden. You know, we've been weeding and cutting grass and doing all of that. I'm folding this over at the top just because I want a nice edge. This will be sticking to the page, this one, but I still want a nice edge in case I decide to make it into a double pocket, which you could do. So you could have your one pocket with the window, and then you could have your double pocket behind. So that just gives that a little bit more strength. I'm going to do the same with the top. So let's start looking at scraps and seeing what we've got. I mean, as you know, you never have like less than a pile of scraps. There's always more scraps. When you're making scraps, you make more scraps. Right, let's get this one glued over because I want that glued over at the top. Again, adding a little bit extra strength. These envelopes are great, but you know, a little bit extra strength is always worth it. It just adds, and it means that it's not going to break anytime soon and or rip, which I think, you know, an envelope is strong when it's constructed, but when you start cutting it to pieces, the paper's not that thick, really, not really. So now, I did have some strips, but my strips are all too thin, so let's make some more. Aha! Are you too thin? Yes, you are. Sometimes you've just got to cut things up and pull things apart and yep. Let's get you edged off. Let's see. Now I'm going to go up, because I'm not going to glue these shut. I mean, you could run some glue up there and up there, or if you wanted it side opening up there and there, but I tend to just let the paper close mine. So I'll show you what I mean by that. I'll put it that way. Well, I know I won't. Let's just get a flat edge on this top. Doesn't have to be perfect, I just want it to, there we go. So what I'll do is I'll fold that round, and that actually closes your envelope. So you can put some extra glue on there if you want to, for added extra. I'm just going to chop this off for added structure if you need to, if you feel you need to, but I find that the paper's enough, you know. If you're using a thin printer paper, mine's quite heavy. I can't remember what GSM it is, but mine's quite a heavy one when I do my collage papers on, so I don't feel the need to have to then glue mine down. But if you're using a thinner printer paper, then yeah, definitely, you know, just run a bead of glue and it will keep it nice and steady. Right, now the other side, I kind of like you. Let's get this edge off, because I've left an edge on. This one I think is Rachel at Roxy Creations. She does a newsletter, and every now and then, oops, you get freebies, and this is one of Rachel's freebies, which is great. I mean, I love her designs anyway, but the fact that she's like giving these out as freebies, I think is just absolutely amazing. So yeah, if you get a chance, find Rachel at Roxy Creations, sign up to our newsletter, because it's really nice. And excuse me, my throat is quite dry today. It's really good, and you get freebies off that, which are absolutely lovely. And yeah, it's always good to be in the know with a newsletter. There we go. Right. Sorry, I'm out of screen. There we go. I like that, and I'm leaving it quite long at that side, because I'm gonna fold it over again like I've shown. It's a lovely day outside. I've got the windows and doors wide open to let in the fresh air. I don't know if you can hear the church clock in the background and the birds singing away. Three o'clock and all's well. Isn't that what they say? 3 o'clock and all's well. Well. Wouldn't be a great time to be a town crier, would it? With everything that's going on. I think you would go hoarse with having to give all the news out of what's been going on just lately. I mean, oh my word. Yeah, I wouldn't like to be a church crier at the minute. Yeah, so like I said, we've been having some lovely weather, and I did go swimming. If you watched my last video, I was talking about swimming, because the orcas are have been off the coast. I think I don't think anybody's seen them for a while now, so I think they've gone back to where they came from, which is, I have no idea where. But yeah, it's I went swimming. I was worried about the jellyfish, and there were jellyfish, but there were just like this, there's 3 different, oh well, there's a few different types around the UK, but really there's only a few that sting, and the one that was in the water barely stings at all. It's just a bit like a stinging nettle, but luckily I didn't get stung, so I had a lovely time swimming, and it was nice watching them drifting around in the water. I like that, that's nice. And I'm not going to decorate anything yet. I don't know if I'm going to just leave them until it's time to use them. I haven't decided yet. Right, let's get you covered because that needs to be covered up. Actually, we've got a nice, I could put that in there and that would be like lovely, wouldn't it? And I'll put something above as well. Okay, let's get you framed up. Sometimes it's nice to have something like in frame, so that when you do take the ephemera out, you've still got a nice focal point. And that's exactly what this is going to be. I'm just going to make sure I've got it about right. It's about right. There we are. I'm going to need a strip along the bottom because I didn't go out it. But look at that, isn't that gorgeous? That's going to look really cute. Great. So where's these little strips I've got lying around that just aren't good, like wide enough for the to go down the sides? Let's see. You can go there. There we are. So guess what, the other day, oh my word, I had such fun. I got to go to my first ever baby shower. Isn't that great? I mean, I've never been to a baby shower before, and it was me, my niece's. She's having my grandniece. I wish I could say it was my first grandniece, but it's not. It's my sister's fourth grandchild. So I've got 2 grandnephews and a grandniece, and we're going to have another little grandniece as well. So yeah, I hope that makes you feel old, Mandy, because it makes me feel old. But no, you know, it was just such a joy. I mean, she looked amazing. I can never remember looking that good when I was pregnant. Pregnancy didn't suit me at all. You hear about these women who bloom. She was absolutely blooming. She looked, I know she's had problems with morning sickness and that, but she looked beautiful, absolutely. I thought she had this beautiful dress on, and it was kind of like a Greek style, and I says to her, I says, you look like a Greek goddess with your lovely round pregnant belly, and it was all at the front. When she turned around, you couldn't tell she was pregnant. Again, not something that I experienced when I was pregnant. There was no mistake in the fact that I was pregnant. But yeah, it was just so nice. We played some games, which was fun. Spot the baby photo. Oh my word, I still haven't forgiven my sister for it. Do you hear that, Mandy? I hope you're watching. You're not forgiven yet. She couldn't find a baby picture of me, and I didn't have the pictures to hand, because obviously the age we're at, you know, it wasn't digital, so they were actually a physical thing. And I think they're all up in the loft, and they're probably buried behind stuff. Anyway, that's to say that she picked one of me, and it was one of my old school photographs, and it just happened to be the one where I lost most of my front teeth. Yeah. Not happy. I could have, when I looked at it, I was like, oh my god, could you get a worse photograph? But it was funny, everybody was giggling. Yeah, so I've never been to one of those before. I know they're quite popular in America, and they're getting more popular in England. But yeah, it was a lovely experience. I really enjoyed it. And what a great way to celebrate before baby comes along, and especially in the pandemic, where you don't get to meet baby because obviously you've got to stay away. I mean, it was all very well done, and it was all very social distanced and everything, so everybody was safe, and nobody touched anybody. There was no hugging. Though I've got to say, I wanted so much to touch our belly, because, oh wow, you know, you just get those those maternal vibes. You can't help it, but I didn't. But it was nice, it was good, and it was a nice way to celebrate before baby comes. Because you know, life's difficult for the first couple of months. Not so much, you know, it's not a bad experience. It's just, you know, getting into routines. It's hard to get into routines for your first couple of months, especially when you've got people wanting to visit and see baby, and you're like, oh, well, you know, can we just do it like in a couple of months, please? And I guess the size of a bump. We all got a piece of string. I mean, those of you who've been to baby showers, you'll know all these games anyway. But she gave us a piece of, I think it was garden twine, and we had to cut it to where we thought the size of our belly was, and I had it absolutely spot on. I think there was only me and one of my friends who managed to do it and get it spot on to the point where it just say touched. It was perfect. But yeah, that was fun. Tell me, do you like baby showers? Do you experience them? Drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think of baby showers, because yeah, I really enjoyed it. Shall we have a bit of music? Why not? There's always room for a bit of music. Yeah, it was a really nice experience, and I got to shop for the first time in a very long time for proper baby clothes. Even though I think that, you know, I never really buy loads of baby clothes because they grow up so quick. So I tend, if I'm buying for someone, I'll get them, you know, like the 3 to 6 months, because that's when you need stuff, when they start growing up. But I thought I'll just I'll buy her one nice little outfit for a newborn, because, you know, it'd been the first time in a long time since I've been anywhere near baby clothes, and I just wanted to buy something. And it was so cute. It was a little moon gazy outfit with these lovely hairs all over it, all frolicking about, and it's like just a baby grow type thing, you know. But how cute, how cute. You forget how little those things are, don't you? I can remember getting the clothes for our little ones, and they just didn't seem as petite as that. But I mean, they would have been, but you forget how tiny those clothes are. It's fun. And with everything going on in the world, it's nice to celebrate new life, to celebrate, you know, a new member of the family. Right, could have you just along there. Right, let's get you torn out. I've also, if I don't know if I've told you about my little plans to have, like, learn about herbalism and things. You know, I was talking about the tea, because I'm really into the herbal tea now. Well, I've decided, you know, why not take it? Oh, there's an ambulance. Excuse that siren. I've decided to take it one step further, and I've signed up for a free herbalism course. It's just an email one. But I thought, you know, we'll give that one a go before I decide to commit myself. That's a nice one, and that's going to be a nice narrow tag one as well, and I can stick that down. And if I do decide to turn this into a tipping, I can just do it along the edges, you know, later on. But I tell you what, we'll make one as a tipping, and I'll show you how I do them. I mean, I've probably shown you before, but I'll show you again how I do them. So here we go. Let's choose a background. That might be quite nice. This is Jo Beth's. When we close that, you'll have like that peeking out. Yeah, I like that. I kind of like that. Nice. Right, let's get this one. Try and get this one as straight as possible. Oh no, I'm going to fold it over, aren't I? So it doesn't have to be as straight as possible. It's okay, folks. I'm just forgetting myself. Now, what I might do is I might let this become the hinge. And I will like strengthen it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave enough of that over that it's going to become a hinge. Otherwise, you can get a piece of coffee dyed paper and you would just glue that in, and then you would attach your sorry, I'm nearly off screen. You would attach your, that would become your hinge, and you would put your, you would close your envelope there. So this time I'm going to use this as the hinge because it's quite, like I said, it is quite thick paper, so that's okay. So let's get that glued down. So now let's see, I'm just going to put a little mark as to where I want it. We get quite a lot of sirens here. We're quite close to a major road, so they have to come through our village to get to the road, the main road, well, the motorway I should say. So yeah, we get a lot of sirens here, so you just get used to ignoring them. Not that you don't think about the poor people that they're going to, but after a while, you know, you get used to hearing them. And most of the time, it's you know, they're just there for precaution. Right, let's get that stuck down. Right, now see, we've got our little hinge now. So I'm just going to cut this corner so that it doesn't interfere with the rest of the envelope. There we go. So now what I will do, because I can't now wrap the paper round, I will actually put a bead of glue down here, but I will also overlap some of the paper just to strengthen this hinge. So let's get the glue out. And this is the only time I'll run a bead of glue down these, because really you don't need it. A little bit too much glue at the top there. There we are. Now that side is sealed, so that's fine. So now we just go about decorating it in exactly the same way. So I think that'll look nice along the bottom. My, it seems like there's a lot of emergency services going up there. Now see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that a little bit further across. Before I do that, I'm going to fold this so that I've got a good fold line in it, and that will help me when I need to fold this over, because I'm going to overlap it just a little bit. And that's going to look great when you glue this to the page because it's your collage paper, so it's still going to look good. Whereas sometimes if you use the coffee dyed paper, it looks nice, it's lovely, but you know, when you can tie it all together with your actual collage paper that you're using, then why not? There we go. And where's my little scissors? There they are. There we go. Right, now This is quite a thin piece. I wonder if one of those little bits that I've already got, I mean, I think it would work. Yeah, that's enough to go right the way over. Okay, I'm going to do this top piece first because I do want, even though I've glued that down already, I do want to tuck something over. Let's see what we've got. I quite like that, and that's going to add to the little slightly, you know, industrial look that this is going to end up having. So again, I'm going to let that come over here a little bit, and I'm going to let it go around and just secure the other side of the envelope. So I might have to cut this just slightly because obviously I have already glued the envelope down, which it would have been better had I thought about it to do this first. But alas, no, I did not think. So let's get you on. Now, I'm just going to cut that there, and hopefully I can get this folded over without too much bother. There we go. There we are. And then what I'll do, I'm just going to cut that like that, and then that will go across and secure. There we go. And that's now a nice little pocket there. Cute. Now we'll get this piece on. Okay. And go that way. Bring it down just a touch. Sorry, I keep going off camera. I keep forgetting where I'm going to have to put me, you know, the tape that I put on that sort of tells me where things are and how far across I am. It's come off when I was cleaning the mat earlier and I forgot to put it back on. I'll have to do that. There we go. Right, let's get all these little bits out the way. Why has that got a bump there? There we are, that's better. Now we just need one nice piece down there. So let's see what we've got. I'm just going to dig and see what I can pull out. Don't want to cut that nest off. Well, that's a nice piece, isn't it? That would work. There we go. Get that on. I like mask making like this sometimes because it's really relaxing, and you know, sometimes when you're working on a new piece you've really got to, you know, you're not so relaxed because you've really got to concentrate, and it can be a little bit, you know, stressful when things are not going right. So I'm just going to make sure everything folds over with the hinge. There we go. There we are. Now, because this is going to be a flip out, I want the back covered as well. So let's see. I think I would do it in one piece, and I like the idea of that. That's a really cute piece, and it could come down just a little bit. So let's just get this edge off. And then let's line everything up and get this bottom done nice. There's our wood pigeons calling for the for each other. They like to sit in the trees at the back of the garden. Well, actually the nest there now. Because this is blank on the back, I'm going to try and get this. Let's line everything up. Let's get everything lined up. I'm going to try and get this the same width so that it won't be blank. Well, although it doesn't really matter, does it? Because the hinge is going to be stuck down. It's alright, just ignore me. Just ignore me. Right, I think we need a new glue page. Yeah, but the wood pigeons can get really noisy. And then of course when they start calling, then the magpies come out as if to say, will you shut up? And then they start fighting. Oh my word. It's like watching the Battle of Britain some days. They are just like, the way they fly, I've got to say, is impressive, because they are big birds, but they can dart about and around each other, you know, so elegantly. Shut up now, because he's listening to me talk about him. He's making sure I'm saying nice things. Just going to trim off these little bits where it's come over, because with all the best intentions in the world, you don't always get things straight, do you? There we go, perfect. Right, so that one's a nice top opening and it's hinged, so it's going to, it'll sit on the page and it'll, or we'll put it, we might even put it that way, and in which case I will put some more paper over there and it will hinge out like that. Either way, nice. On to the next. Like I said, I have tons of these, so yeah. What do we have here? Oh, that's a nice beehive. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep that out the way because I do still have everything ready for the beehive journal. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. I keep getting distracted. Not least by the bees themselves. We've been having major things going on with the bees. They've disappeared. I mean, oh, I was heartbroken. I don't know if I told you about our bees. Anyway, we had bees. Big surprise after what I've just said. We had bees. We have this old, it's an old bird box that my father-in-law, bless his soul, put up years ago. And it's on the side of the house. But it's only a little bird box. So anyway, this year, instead of having birds in there, we had bees. I know. Can you credit it? The birds and the bees? Yeah, it really was. But yeah, they started building a colony, and unfortunately, with the weather we've been having, which has been really, really hot, they've been having problems cooling themselves down. So all of the worker bees have been on the outside by, you know, the little hole where the bird pokes his head in and goes in. All the little worker bees have been around that, flapping the wings, trying to cool the hive down inside. So we've been, oh, if you've seen, we've been up ladders, we've been trying to put up sheets, we've been trying to put up umbrellas, anything we can to shield them from the sun so that they don't overheat. We've tried everything, and unfortunately nothing worked. And the way where it is on the side of the house, it's impossible to actually get any kind of shade for them. We've tried and tried, and in the end we've had to give up, admit defeat, and decide to move the birdhouse as soon as they've left. We're going to put it in the trees at the back where it's nice and shaded, you know, under my lilac tree, the lilac tree that I showed you before. Anyway, we're going to put it under there for them so that they're out the way. But obviously it doesn't help them this year. So we've been, you know, keeping an eye out on them, and when they've been coming home exhausted, we've been putting out honey and water, you know, and trying to save the ones that were, you know, the heat was too much for. We made a little bee bath for them, and you know, we've done what we can to help anyway. So we've been keeping an eye on them and trying to help them out and trying to look after them. They disappeared. I was so sad, because I was thinking, at first I was thinking, oh no, don't say you've died. Please don't have died. I was devastated. I was like, oh my gosh, they can't have died. They didn't. I think what's happened is they've decided to relocate themselves because the hive was getting too big. Now, I've heard that bees can do that and they will swarm and leave, but I didn't realise that that's what they were going to do. But we're still every now and then getting little bees coming back. I don't know if they're a bit confused, but they keep coming back and they're looking for the other bees, and they're coming back exhausted, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, these poor bees. So yeah, at the minute I've got one sitting in a little saucer of water and honey, trying to revive the poor thing, so that he can go off and find the rest of them wherever they've gone. So yeah, it's been an exciting summer in the garden so far. But you know, you've got to help the bees out, because without the bees, no bees, no people. Yep. Does anybody have any tricks or anything that they know, you know, that could help out? I mean, I'm assuming they've left, but maybe they will come back. I don't know. Am I doing the right thing? Is this something that bees do? Does anybody have any knowledge of bees? I'm really heartbroken that they've gone, thinking, you know, oh my gosh, are they all right? I'm like a mother hen, honestly. I can't help it. I love them. I love bees. I always have loved bees. They are just the most gorgeous little animals. So yeah, if you've got any advice or any knowledge, please do let me know. Put it in a comment down below, because I'm sad that my bees have gone. When I was little, I used to say that I was going to have my own beehives, and I was going to collect the honey, and you know, it was a dream that I had for a while when I was little. And then all of a sudden these lovely bees come, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm not going to collect the honey, but I've got bees. No, sadly not. My husband thinks I'm mad. He's like, you know, it's all nature. They're not daft. They know how to look after themselves. Yes, but they're my bees. So yeah, bees have gone, disappeared into the ether. Oh, you're a nice big piece. I might actually bring you all the way up. Yes, I think I will. I would like to be able to tell you where I got all of these papers from, and what ones I can remember. I will put links below the video for. I'm pretty sure this one is, I'm not pretty sure, I'm not going to say that. I think this one is Antique Papery, but I know that I've also got Rachel's, and I know I've also got Art Zoology. I've got some of the Victoria designs, so I've got a mixture, and I know that I should be, you know, I should try a little bit more to remember where everything comes from. But you know, especially when you're working with scraps, it's not always easy to remember where everything comes from. You know, a little scrap of paper, it might look like one artist but be another, and I don't want to leave anybody out, so I will put some links down below, but I'm not going to name each of the papers, because I'll be quite frank, I don't know. I like that, that's nice. Once I've made all these, I've just realised, well, I haven't just realised, I knew that once they're all made, but that's a bit better. I'll tell you a quick trick. If you've got to cut something and you don't have time, or you want to do it quick but you want to go it straight, use another straight edge to guide you. It's not going to be perfect, but it's better than just willy-nilly, and it will help you to keep in a straight line. There we go, that's better. Yeah, I think that will do, and that will cover. If you've got a blank page in a journal, you know, sometimes you might have printed these out and they'll be blank on the back, or you might put a nice piece of it from a book in and it's got stuff on the back that you don't want, like writing and that. Big pockets like this are a great way of covering things up, because you can decorate them, and the tags that you put in are going to, you know, take up even more room. So yeah, great idea. Now let's get some of these papers from the back and see what we've got. You're not big enough. You're big enough. You'll do. Okay, first of all, let's get this side torn off. Now, and like I say, when you're trying to use up scraps, you're creating more scraps all the time. It just never ends. Which you wouldn't want it to, because, you know, you can never have too much. Oh my word, I was talking to Mandy, my sister. Hi Mand. And she sent me this, it was like a meme. It was so funny, and it was like, oh, I'm trying to remember the wording of it. If somebody tells you you've got enough craft supplies, cut that person out of your life, because you don't need that kind of negativity. Which I thought was so funny. You know, you all know. I was like, or you could bury them under the patio. I said that while I was sitting next to my husband. I got a funny look. Because he's always saying, what could you possibly want to buy at a craft shop that you haven't already got? You could open up your own craft shop. Honey, there is never enough craft supplies. There's always room for more. I don't think he agrees with me, but hey ho. Yeah, she had me giggling. It's like saying, honey, you don't need to breathe anymore, you've got enough air. I would disagree. Drop me a like if you if you agree with me. There's no such thing as enough craft supplies. You know I'm right. Yeah. It's like telling a knitter that you don't need any more wool. Excuse me? There we go. These are therapeutic little things to make. I will put a little bit more on that side because that's quite thin and I want to give that a little bit more structure. So let's have a look at you for this bit. So I do quite like this. Maybe take you up higher and that will give that extra structure. There we go. So yeah, so I've had an exciting couple of weeks with baby showers and the bees and wild swimming. I'm keeping my new garden sorted because that's been fun as well, because the original herbs that I planted a couple of months ago now, they've just like really taken off, and I'm just in love with them. I'm about to harvest them for the first time so I can make tea. Isn't that strange? I'm going to harvest my own tea. I love it. I absolutely love it. I've actually been thinking about getting a tea plant. I know it's part of the camellia family, and camellias do grow quite well in my area. I think we are zone 8. I think it's zone 8. Anyway, I really have seriously been thinking about getting a tea plant, because I think it'd be nice to have fresh green tea, wouldn't it? And then I could add all my other ingredients in. And I've just bought, I know I'm not supposed to be buying any more plants, but I've just bought some rosemary, which my old rosemary, bless it, you know, it was a good plant and it lasted for a long time, but we are quite close to the sea, and although rosemary does still do quite well here, it doesn't last forever here. So yeah, I've got some new rosemary now. And what else did I get? I got thyme, and it's a lemon thyme. Oh, it smells amazing. And what else did I buy? Should I have a dash of blue? No, I want to keep this like muted colours. So how about a bit of this? That's nice. I know this one's Gale Agostinelli. It's called, is it that old time pack? I can't remember. But it was one of that, she did like a collage pack, and it was lovely. Yes, lemon thyme. And I bought another mint, but it's a different type of mint. That one's not doing so well. It's not doing great. But the other mint has took off. Oh, it's great. And I mean, everything I've ever been told about mint is you can't get it to stop growing how long, you know, have problems with it. But the other one that I bought, no, it's just not doing a great job at the minute. But maybe it just needs to establish more. There we go. I like that one. That's quite muted tones. So, you know, I could maybe put, if I put like, I've got a few little bits and pieces. Let's see. When you look for them, you can never find them. So say if I put her in there, that would be a nice splash of colour, and she could be part of the tag. In fact, isn't she good? I'm going to leave her in there because I'm going to put her on the tag. Right, I'm going to do one more because I'm aware of the time ticking away. And I know that you're probably bored of watching me do these now. So let's do another hinged one, and this time I'm going to use the coffee dyed paper. So let's get this in first. Let's make our hinge straight away. And I don't have to do this very straight because I'm going to trim it, so that's fine. So if ever you're using coffee dyed paper, you've got to cut it down for anything, don't get rid of the little bits. Even little tiny thin bits like this can come in useful. You spend all that time coffee dyeing it, don't get rid of it. Now it doesn't need to be that wide. I could get 2 hinges out of that, so let's do so. There we go. And I'm just going to fold, I'm going to pre-fold this so I can see where I'm going to put the glue. And then that's also going to tell me where I'm going to stick it down as well. It doesn't matter if the fold's not perfect. It's paper, you can manipulate it. Right, so there's our hinging straight away. Perfect. Just move that. And now we want something to back with. I'm going to see what else I've got. I'm not really finding anything that I really... What about you? Not big enough. Right, maybe I'm just going to drag a few bits out. Oh, that's nice. I like that. And it's quite dark, so it gives us a different feel to this one. Perfect. I'm aware that the writing's going the wrong way, but that doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't matter at all. It's all part of the, you know, the collage experience. Your writing doesn't have to go the right way. Ignore everything you've ever been told in school. Your writing can go any way you want it to. And it looks better when you've got writing going different ways, different directions. Makes things fun. Right. The good thing about putting the hinge in first, this is going to help secure it. It's going to give it that added extra strength. It's going to keep it down. Now, that's our inside done. Okay. So before I put the bead glue on, this time I'm learning. I'm learning. Before I put the bead glue on, I'm going to put the top on. I like this bird actually. And I think, let's see how much of him I'm going to lose if I fold him over. It's not a lot really, is it? So I think I'm going to use this bird. Now, let's see. I don't think I'm going to cut it down. I think I'm going to trim it as I do it. Just turn this this glue page over. And then this one's already partially decorated with a lovely bird. Maybe just a label at the bottom and that one's ready to go, isn't it? So I'm just going to secure it where I want it first. And then this side I'm just going to cut. I'm just working it out as I go. Spatial awareness and all that I'm not great at. That can fold over. And then this side is going to fold to secure the other edge. There we go. Figured it out. There we go. Now close that up and bring that one over. And then there we go. We've secured that edge. And now, because I've secured that edge, I'm going to run a bead of glue down here. Because we've covered the top now, so we don't need this to be open anymore. There we go. And that's that secured. Right. Let's see, what do we have? I do like this writing. Now I do know that this is antique papery. It's her texts, her text pack. I can't remember. Again, I can't remember the names of the packs, but I will drop a link to the digital artists that I got them from, just so that you can pop across if there's something you see that you want. I was talking to Mandy the other day about the digital packs and papers and that, and she's the same as me. She's like, I've got that many that I just can't remember which one came from where. She says, and I'm just gonna have to stop buying things. She says, I've got more papers now than I'm ever gonna use. I'm like, I'm the same, because you know, they come out with such gorgeous things. I mean, I was watching Rachel's latest challenge video, which is to make these lovely little, they're like promissory checks with vellum on, and you make them into these little floating pockets. Beautiful. I'm going to do a video. It'll probably be on after this one. But yeah, and I was like, she's made a digital of the promissory checks, and I was like, right, I've got to get them. I'm going to have them. But when I went into me into all my ephemera, my digital ephemera, I've already got one lot, but I was thinking, well, you know, it doesn't hurt to have two. I'm just going to have to stop buying things. It's just, they're too pretty, and you've got to have them. So I keep telling my husband anyway. Problem is, I'm having to put them on an external hard drive now because I'm running out of room on my computer, because I store all of my videos on there as well, and my own digital art as well. Yeah, I just need a bigger hard drive, I think. Or a more tolerant husband. Bless his cotton socks. Every time I'm like, he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm not buying anything. He's like, oh my gosh, have you not got enough things by now? No, you can never have enough. Oh dear. Bless him. But you know, he's got his hobbies too, and he likes his cycling, and he likes his sailing. So he's got his hobbies, and he does his bits and pieces too. That's my excuse anyway. I'm like, yeah, you know, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. He's got a point though. I could open up a craft shop with all this stuff I've got. I could have a proper craft shop. Life's too short to worry about these things, isn't it? There we go. Oh, and that's lovely, with that lovely bird there. Actually, while we're on, why don't we find a label, and then we can get that one finished, and that'll be ready. No, that's not labels, that's tabs. Labels. Maybe a sciencey label. I quite like that actually. Field notes, and then that could be, you know, your tab could be like your field notes. Isn't that perfect? Let's get some glue on this. And there we go, perfect. Now that will, this is the page of our journal, and that's going to sit on the edge, and then it'll open up, and we'll put something on the back for to write on, and then you'll have all of this space underneath as well. So let's cover the back, let's find something good enough for to write on. Now I don't think I'm going to have any pieces big enough. This is only one of me folders full of scraps. I have a problem. It's not all scraps. These are, a lot of these are my the digitals that I've printed out for the express purpose of using for collage and for making ephemera. I like you, we'll use you. So yeah, it's not all scraps. But I have been worried recently about the amount of paper that does get thrown out, like these bits here, and it bothers me because I think, you know, that's good paper, and we're living in a world where we're supposed to be conserving everything, and we can't conserve like things if we're throwing bits of stuff away. So I've started up making paper with my scraps. And I've got to say, it is a huge amount of fun. I don't know if I've told you about it yet, so I can't remember if I've mentioned it in a previous video. But yeah, I've started making my own paper, and I'm going to be using it because I've made some. My first attempt was good, but it wasn't perfect. So I've made some that I don't want to lose that stamp. And I've got the next batch ready to go, and I've got to say, you know, I'm thinking it's a really nice craft to do, and I get to use my own paper when I'm making journals, so I feel a bit better now. I've got a little basket next to the craft table, and all the paper goes in there, and then I sort it when I'm finished. into more file folders. And it goes into like darker colours, lighter colours, and that's how I sort it. And then when I'm making the paper, I can decide whether I want to use just plain paper or if I want to use a darker colour, because that way you're cutting down on the amount of things you need to dye it with, because I don't want to end up having to use anything ecologically unsound to dye it with. So there we go. So that one's covered on the back, and that will just sit nicely on your page. And then this is big enough that you could get a really nice big journal card in there, and maybe several others, you know. So what have we made? Let's get them all out. I'm going to move some of this mess out the way because I've got mess everywhere. So we've got that one, which I'm going to take that out. That's how it looks, but I'm leaving this in because I want to use it on the tag. And then we've got this one, and that's just a pocket. This is a tip in, so that's going to tip in and tip out. And then another nice slim pocket. This is going to be great for your smaller journals, you know, because you can get, you know, you want something slimmer on the page. And that's a nice wide one. Again, another wide journal card will go in there. And this is one of the little corners. Well, I didn't make this one on screen, but yeah, this is just a little corner tuck. And then there's another one that's going to be a tip in. And then this one we made a nice big pocket. Sometimes you need big pockets. I've just lately I've been making my pockets. They've all, I think, unconsciously been getting smaller and smaller. And now I'm thinking, no, I need big pockets, because you've got to get lots of ephemera in. You've got to get lots of lovely things in. So there we go. These are nice big pockets. And then this one that we've just made, which is going to be a nice tip in, which is lovely. So anyway, thank you for coming and crafting along. If you're still here, thank you very much. I really enjoyed crafting with you and talking your heads off and just generally chit-chatting. And if you've liked the video, please do drop a like. It really helps with the YouTube algorithms. It gets me seen more, and then more people can watch the videos, and more people can subscribe to our lovely little happy crafty family. So please do subscribe and be part of our crafty family, and stay safe and take care, and happy crafting. Bye.